guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sydney Michelle, and today we are talking about 26 things that I learned before the old and wise age of 26 years old. I know I'm still young and have a lot to learn, but I thought it would be nice to share some of the things that have helped me and aided me in getting me to the place that I am today, and hopefully getting me to the places that I want to get in the future. So you know I like to keep my intros nice and short, so let's get into it. Because I am 26 years old and there are conveniently 26 letters of the alphabet, we are kind of going to do the ABCs of life. So I'm going to give you a quote or mantra of each letter, and that's going to kind of represent each year of my life. So starting off with A. Avoid negative sources. This can include people and places. And I think there's a YouTuber, her name is Bria Jones. I'll put her channel here. Bria speaks to me. I swear she just knows what I'm going through. She has lived the life that I have lived.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Not in a creepy way. But she's like my us doppelganger, I swear. So we had really similar backgrounds growing up, and she has a podcast where she talks about being the background friend, and I could not relate to that anymore. I feel like growing up I had a lot of friends, but I didn't have a solid support system to carry me through my tough times. They were close enough that we could go hang out and do things together, but not close enough where I could go and cry on their shoulder.
Was I a perfect friend? No. There have definitely been situations where I wasn't a good friend.
And so I think this mantra is so important. It's so important to avoid negative sources, people, places that don't bring you that comfort, that don't bring you that joy, especially in the time of your 20s. When you're growing and developing and trying to figure out who you are, it's only going to hurt you if you're surrounding yourself with people who don't want you to become the person that you want to become. Or if you're just trying to fit in to those other people's lives, you're not really leaving yourself space to grow. And if you have a solid support system of people around you who genuinely want you to grow and become the person that you want to become, it's only going to help propel you into that person faster. And I think the sooner that you figure out who you are as a person, obviously the better your life is going to be, and the quicker you'll be able to do the things that you want to do. So avoid those negative people, sources, and places. Number 2, aka B. Believe in yourself. Whew. This one is probably the hardest of them all. I know we're only on the second one, but this is definitely the hardest. Believing in yourself, especially in your 20s when you have no idea what's going on, but just somehow believing in the universe and trusting whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, is gonna get you through some of the hardest days that you have. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be your number one fan. If you're not your number one fan, nobody else is gonna be. For real. Kanye loves Kanye. You gotta love you. That's mic drop. For real, believe in yourself. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory, but super critical to making it through your 20s and navigating your 20s. Just be confident in who you are. C stands for consider things from every angle. I think in your 20s especially, in your teen years too, but in your 20s especially, you are so individual. I know a lot of 20-year-olds are single, a lot of 20-year-olds don't have kids, a lot of 20-year-olds are having their first job for the first time, living on their own for the first time, and you're so you focused, you have such tunnel vision that it's really hard to consider things from outside perspectives. When you can see things the way that other people see things, you're able to grow as an individual, but also you're able to stand by the things that you truly believe in even more. So if I know your angle, if I know what you're coming from, I have educated myself on your stance, I'm able to defend what I believe. I'm able to stand by what I believe even more. If I'm not able to stand by what I believe, then I can make a conscious and educated decision to change my beliefs. And that is honestly what being in your 20s is all about. Shifting your beliefs, figuring out who you are, figuring out what you believe in, what your values are. So considering things from all different types of angles, trying to get the most education that you can is only going to help you become the you that you want to be. Number 4, or D, is don't give up, don't give in, and don't let a damn thing get you down. Because woo-wee, this world will get you down. This world has a way of making you give up. I think like taking my own content creation journey, for example, I literally cried. I'm gonna call my mom right now. Let's see what she says.
Hello.
Hey mom. Hello. Hey.
Yeah?
I'm filming a YouTube video and I'm actually recording right now, but I wanted you to tell the people. I'm giving the advice of don't give up, don't give in, and don't let a damn thing get you down. And I'm telling my story about how I almost gave up YouTube.
After 36 hours?
Yes, after 36 hours. And do you remember what I called you saying?
Yeah, you were quitting and you were done and you're a failure and you're not gonna, that you just weren't gonna make it.
Yeah. And did I make it? Was everything okay?
Of course you did.
Okay.
Of course you did. And what did I tell you? If it was that easy,
Everyone would do it.
everybody would do it.
Yep. So keep going.
Yeah. So just keep going.
And look at me, 2 years in.
Keep going. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks. I just wanted to call you because, yeah, I just appreciate that testimony. So thanks, Mommy.
I'm always here to remind you about it.
Thanks, Mommy. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. There you have it. E is going to be enjoy life today. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow will never come. And I think this is really important to just remember to live in the moment. Yes, hustle culture is a thing and it is super prevalent to those of us going through our first careers, those of us who are graduating college and feeling like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Those of us who are starting our own businesses, like remember to live in the moment and not get so caught up on what you have to be doing. Because like the quote says, tomorrow will never come. If you keep thinking about the future, you will literally never get there and the present will literally pass you by. You will look back on your life and realize that you never actually enjoyed the things that you were going through. And what I like to remind myself a lot of is little Sid would be so proud of where I'm at right now. Although yes, I have a long way to go. I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do, but thinking about just me even sitting in front of these lights and this camera, recording a video for my monetized YouTube channel, like be appreciative of the moment that you have.
BFFR. What did that spell? B fucking for real.
And think about the little child in you that would be so proud of who you are today. So remember to live in the present. F is for family and friends are hidden treasures. Talk to them as much as possible. And this one definitely hits home for me. I had to include this in here because I have lived by myself away from home, across the country away from home for 8 years now, and it is lonely, I will say, especially like being in your 20s and moving across the country. I moved from Minnesota to California on my own. I have no family, no friends out in California, and that's where I went to school. And then from California to Texas, again, on my own, no friends out here, and just having to start over. And it is hard making friends. You don't have classes to go to or organized events to go to. Like, you have to go out and do those things on your own. And so, like I said earlier, find your support system, find that group of people early on, as quick as you can, and then once you've found them, lean on them and use them, because they're going to be the ones that are going to help get through those really hard days. And so you have to have that support system, you have to have that family. And I will push it even further to say that your family, as in like your elders, your grandparents, your parents, try to learn from them as much as possible. There have been so many times in my 20s when I've looked at my parents and just been like, you were so right.
Oh my God! Wow!
Like, you were so right about that. And I pushed back against it because I was a kid and didn't want to listen to my parents like every kid. But looking back, like, had I listened, had I actually taken in what they had to say, I would have been way better off. And so now, like, asking them those questions so that I can apply them to my future life is super valuable. G, give more than you plan to give each day. I think part of who I am as a person is just giving back, and I grew up very fortunate, and so I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Like, give what you can give. I think everyone has a story, everyone's going through something, and if there is anything that you can give, whether it's a smile, money, food, just a compliment, your education, your wisdom, like, give it, because we need each other. And it's really as simple as that. We really need each other, and we have to support each other through this journey. It's a huge reason why I want to do more to help people on their journeys. So that one's a little close to my heart, because I think that we just as human beings can be doing more to help support each other. H stands for hang on to your dreams.
Hey now, hey now.
This is what dreams are made. Hey, hey, hang on to your dreams. You have to hang on to your dreams. Hang on to that little girl who has big dreams. Hang on to that little boy who has big dreams of becoming whatever it is you want to become, because those things are going to get you through. Those things are possible. Especially in the United States, the country that I live in, there is nothing that you cannot do. And I'm not saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or nobody in this country wants to work.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you can quite literally do whatever it is that you want to do. And it's not gonna be easy, but you can do it if you just want to do it. So I guess this is just me saying, like, hang on to your dreams. I think in my 20s, I have learned that I am nothing without my goals, without my aspirations, without my dreams. And so I have to hold on to those, because those are what are making me who I am. And right with that one is I, which is ignore the bullshit. Anything that is not your dreams is bullshit. Ignore it. You are going to have haters along the way. You are going to have those negative people and negative sources in your life that are going to try to stop you from going after your dreams. Literally ignore them. If you pay attention to them, you are putting energy towards something that is not your dreams. And if you are putting something that's not your dreams, then you are quite literally wasting your time.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That one, I'm not going to talk about too much. Ignore the bull. Don't pay it no mind. J is going to stand for just do it. Just do it. Shout out to Nike. But for real, I think this one I didn't learn until the pandemic. I think in 2020, when we literally had nothing to do and everyone was just sitting inside, kind of like twiddling their thumbs, I decided to start my YouTube channel. And had I not done it, we wouldn't be here today. I don't think I ever would have started it. I worked hard enough to get monetized within that year. But had I not just decided to just do it, even if it wasn't perfect, even if I didn't have a plan, even if I was just recording from my phone and didn't even have a camera, like, just do it, just put it out there, just start, and every day get 1% better so that you can keep improving. And it's totally fine if every day you decide to get 1% better at something, or with every video that you post you get 1% better, focus on one thing to improve on. But if you wait for things to be perfect before you start, you will never start, because they will never be perfect. So just do it. And K ripples right off of that. Just keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Because again, it's gonna get hard. It is gonna get hard. There are going to be things that happen in your life, especially in your 20s. Again, like I said, you're living on your own for the first time. You're going through makeups and breakups and romantic relationships. You're starting your first big girl or big boy job. Like, you're paying for things on your own. You're getting kicked off your family's insurance. Like, there are so many things that you are doing for the first time, and they're going to be hard. Imagine like telling a baby to just give up or to stop after they try to take their first step. They would never walk. It's like, you have to get up, you have to keep trying. Even when it seems super hard, just keep pushing. Like right now, it is almost 10 p.m. and I made myself get up to film these videos because this is something that I really want to do. And although it's hard, and although I have shot an intro a million times and re-recorded this video 3 times now, like, I have to keep going because it's something that I really care about. I will say, like, with practice, things get easier. L stands for love yourself first. Yeah. I think coming from me, who is an empath and a water sign, I care a lot about other people's emotions, and I take on the thoughts and feelings of other people and consider those before I consider my own. And I think in my 20s, I've really gone through a self-love journey. I've really discovered who I am, and I'm still discovering who I am every day. But if I didn't take the time to love myself and to give myself that alone time and to really do a lot of introspection, I don't know where I would be, or if I would be. And I know that that's really hard and deep to hear sometimes, but it's real. Like, more and more of us, our generation especially, is struggling a lot with mental health, and I think we just have to take a lot more time to put love back into ourselves. We have a lot of love to give, and oftentimes we give it out before we give it to ourselves. So give to yourself first. Make sure your glass is full and overflowing before you decide to go and pour it into others. M is going to stand for make it happen. And I think this just really is like, do you have what it takes? Do you have the tenacity to go after the things that you want? Can you make it happen? And I think this is the mindset that our parents or the generation before us really had. They had to make things work to raise us. Like, they had no choice. If in your 20s you can find some grit, you can find some tenacity, you can find some motivation to get stuff done and to make things happen, make things shake, you are a force to be reckoned with. And I think the whole culture of entrepreneurship that we are currently growing up in, but especially the generation under us, like, has kind of adopted, they are adopting those same aspects that our parents had. And I think us middle kind of like kids, that middle passage here, we're missing out on a lot of that. So one thing I did write down that I learned in my 20s that is critical for development in your 20s is to go out and make things happen. Because that's the only way that they're gonna get done. Nothing is gonna be handed to you.
And that's on period.
And with making things happen comes N. Never let them see you sweat.
Really and truly, don't let them see you sweat.
I know, again, talking about hustle culture, and especially with social media, we make it look so aesthetically pleasing. We make it look like, you know, everything is perfect and neat. But don't let them see you sweat. Like, pretend. Yeah, behind this camera, it looks crazy. It looks a mess. But in front of the camera? In front of the camera? Come on. Like, for real, do not let these people see you sweat. Don't let them see you crying. Don't let them see that you are breaking your back left and right. We don't need that. That just motivates the haters. And we need to surround ourselves with positivity. So with that, don't let them see you sweat. Isn't that what Rihanna said? Fake it till you make it. Don't let them see you sweat. And Rihanna's a billionaire, so I'm gonna listen to her.
I know that's right.
Okay? O stands for open your eyes and see everything around you. And this kind of goes to the point that I was making about just being open to other perspectives and other ideas. There are so many things around us that we just don't pay attention to because we have tunnel vision. And I think a lot of this goes with spending more time by yourself. When you're alone, you have that time to really like observe your surroundings and just pay attention to the things going on around you. I think you can learn a lot from other people's experiences, and if you're open to learning from other people's experiences, you then do not have to make the same mistakes that they've made. And so when you are very observant and you're quiet and you listen more than you talk, you're able to observe more and learn more from other people's experiences. That one is probably one of my favorite things. I really enjoy people watching because of that aspect. Imagining other people's lives and how their situations got them to where they are, so that I can then think and be grateful about the situations that I've been in and how they've gotten me to where I am, and actually use that to my advantage. Speaking of using that to my advantage, practice makes permanent. I will say, a lot of people say practice makes perfect, but if you do something wrong for years, you're going to continue doing that wrong for years. And this one essentially is just about forming good habits. I think in your 20s, your body's bouncing back, but it's also starting to mellow out. Your metabolism isn't as high as it was when you were in college. You can't party as much as you used to. And I think in your 20s, it's super critical to develop good habits. So practice makes permanent. Whatever you are doing on a daily basis is going to become your life. Think about your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
And me, you know, I'm 56 years old. Damn.
All of that depends on what you're doing now, what habits you're forming now to become the person that you want to become. And I think you don't always have to wake up at 5 a.m. and see the sun rise, but you can decide to wake up an hour earlier, or 15 minutes earlier, or 30 minutes earlier, or decide to journal, or drink more water, or go on a walk. But those habits that you set now are going to set the tone for the next 50 years of your life. So you might as well do it now while you're on your own, single, no kids, dependent on you, and don't have anyone else relying on you. Buckle down, be disciplined, and practice the things that you really want to make them permanent habits. Q stands for quitters never win and winners never quit. So I used to subscribe to quitting culture, and I think right now, like, soft quitting is a really big thing. But I think this one in particular talks about quitting with your goals. So if something's hard and you quit, like, you're not ever going to win. You're never going to develop the habits, again, like practicing the habits that you want for life. If you quit on those things just because they're hard, like, you're never gonna get what you want to get. And I think, again, developing these habits in your 20s really working for the things that you really want and being passionate about your dreams and goals is going to get you far in life. Even if they fail, developing that habit of continuing on when things are hard, it's gonna propel you in life. And obviously I'm 26, so I don't really know how that's gonna propel me yet, but I know the things that I'm doing that are hard are making me a stronger, better human being. And I'm grateful for that. Alrighty, R is probably my favorite thing. And I think I've talked about this in a couple YouTube videos now, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am an avid reader. R stands for read and learn about everything important in your life. I was listening to a Jay Shetty podcast, and it was actually the one where he had Selena Gomez on and her mom. Selena Gomez was talking about how when she was a kid, she was really scared of thunderstorms. And so her mom told her, educate yourself about the things that you're scared of. And when you learn more about them, you won't be as scared about them anymore. And so one night there was a thunderstorm and she was really scared. And so the very next day her mom took her to a bookstore and bought a ton of books about thunderstorms. And now I guess Selena Gomez is like super knowledgeable about the weather and the storms and like the cloud formations and things like that, and she's not scared of thunderstorms anymore. And I think that that's a really valuable lesson. I think the things we're scared of, the things that we fear, are because we don't actually know much about them. And so the more things that we learn about them, the less scary and the less unknown that thing becomes, and we can learn to navigate those things a little bit better. I think that's very true too with my content creation. I was very scared about starting my YouTube channel, about content creation. Although I was passionate about it, I was scared and hesitant to start it. But once I started learning and reading and educating myself about what it takes to be a content creator, how to make good content, it's now something that I actually enjoy. It is something that I lean into rather than run away from. So I encourage you all to read about the things that you're super passionate about and just lean into them even more. Become experts in those fields so that way you can just soar. And it seems like all of these just go back to back, but the next one is S, and that stands for stop procrastinating. I think that this one is something that I'm still navigating.
Stop it. Get some help.
I am a really bad procrastinator, mainly because I've always succeeded at getting things done last minute. But planning is so important, and maybe this is something that I can work on for the next 4 years of my 20s. And that's really all I have to say about that one. Just stop doing it. Plan ahead and get your stuff done. T, take control of your own destiny. You have to create goals for yourself. The very first thing I do when creating a vision board is actually get out my notebook and write down all of the goals that I have. It can be goals for a very specific thing. Like sometimes I create vision boards just for like specific areas of my life. Like I have a relationship vision board, I have a finance vision board, I have a content creation vision board. So sometimes I'll like write those down. But if you're just creating like an overall lifestyle vision board, it's really good to separate the different categories. So like finances, career, exercise, food or diet, relationships, gratitude, whatever, education, whatever categories work best for your life, write them down, and then write down 2 to 3 goals that you have within those categories. So if you haven't seen that full video, I would definitely encourage you to go check that out. This next tip is U, and the U stands for understand yourself so that you can understand the world around you. And this one is literally what being in your 20s is all about. So ultimately right here what I'm talking about is spending time with yourself, understanding who you are, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, and really kind of just dating yourself, falling in love with yourself, and figuring yourself out. I honestly used to struggle a lot with this one. I hated being by myself. It made me really uncomfortable to be alone and kind of like stuck with my own thoughts. if this is you, I have a free Date Yourself guidebook that can give you 5 ways to spend time alone. I also have a YouTube video linked to this guidebook that kind of walks you through the steps. So if you're interested in that, either check out my YouTube video or click the link in my description after this video to go check out that free guidebook on how to date yourself. The V stands for visualize it. And I think, again, linking back to that video, I think these two videos really go hand in hand, but I talk a lot about vision boarding and goal setting. And I think a really good way to spend time with yourself and to understand yourself is to understand the things that you want and the things that you desire in the future. And so if you are constantly visualizing, if you are creating vision boards, if you're talking about your goals, if you're living out your goals, if you're constantly working towards the future that you want, you're able to visualize the future that you want, ultimately manifesting it and making it come to life. It's essentially the law of attraction. Whatever you actively work towards, whatever you're constantly thinking about, talking about, you will attract in your life. So if you're visualizing the future that you want, you will eventually attract that future. I think when you find something that you are so passionate about that you want more than anything you've wanted in life, nothing can stop you. So you have to find the things that you want more than anything. Right now, is that your 9 to 5? Probably not.
No. No. Hell no.
Is that paying your bills? Absolutely. But you have to keep trying to do the things that you're passionate about and leaning towards the things that you want to do more than anything. Especially in your 20s, if you build up that portfolio, if you build up that repertoire, if you build up that network of people, you can get whatever it is that you want to get. You just have to want it more than anything. You have to dedicate your free time to achieving those things. So my best tip for you in your 20s, figure out what it is that you want more than anything in the world and go get it. Had to get a little bit creative with X, and I think how I define your X mantra is X marks the spot. You have already left your mark on this world. You don't have to feel so bogged down by feeling like you haven't done enough. You are 20 years old.
I'm just a baby.
You're 20 years old.
I'm just a baby.
You have so much more life to live, and think about the previous 20 years and all of the people that you've impacted and all of the friendships that you've had and how you've changed your parents' life and your siblings' life, and don't get too caught up in feeling like you haven't done enough. I definitely have struggled with feeling like I'm not doing enough or I'm not enough, but it helps me, like I said earlier, think about little Sid who would look at me today and just be in awe of all the things that I'm doing now. And that helps me stay grounded and present in the moment. So remember, X marks the spot. You have already marked your place on this earth. You have already done enough. Today, if it were your last day, know and be confident in knowing that you have already left your mark, already left a legacy, left a lasting effect on many people on this earth, and that will help you get to the next day. With that comes why you cannot be replaced. Literally, there is only one you, and this goes with confidence. I think I lacked a lot of confidence. This kind of just speaks to never letting them see you sweat. There is literally only one you. Even if you're an identical twin and there's someone out there with the exact same DNA as you, they are not thinking the exact same thoughts as you. They do not have the capability to do the exact same things as you. So capitalize on that. Capitalize on the things that make you unique. It's super, super, super important. Yes, I'm going to say it again. To find the thing that you are passionate about in your 20s, find it as early as you can and capitalize on it. Capitalize on the thing that makes you you. Make sure that whatever it is that makes you unique is what you are using to leverage for your future. And last but certainly not least is our letter Z. which is zero in on your target and go for it. I think that just sums up everything that I've been talking about. Overall, figure out what you want to be doing. So zero in on your target and go for it. I've been reading this book called The One Thing, and it talks about focusing in on that one thing. If you had to pick just one thing, you don't get 2 or 3, just one thing that you want to do that's going to make this a good life. Figure out what that is and go do it. Remember to check out that freebie in my description, and I will see you guys in the next video.